Alright, starting off for this project, you're going to want to get a sewing machine and you just want to make sure it has a zigzag stitch. Then you're going to need your button up and make sure that it's a long sleeve because we're also going to be using the cuffs for this video. And lastly, grab yourself a sweater. I was honestly trying to find a coogi so I could be a coogi Calvin Klein combination, but no luck on that. So getting started, we're going to want to go ahead and cut the collar off, and we're going to want to cut it below the first button, not the button that's on the collar, but the first button that's on the actual front. So I recommend popping the collar up so you can kind of get a better view at where you're going to cut. If you want, you can chalk around the neckline, but we're just going to go ahead and cut it freestyle, and you just want to make sure you cut below that first button and keep it even all the way around. And now that you have your collar cut out, go ahead and place that on the inside of your sweater and just make sure that you line up the front center and the back center. And I recommend just having the top button together because it'll make it easier when you're sewing, but you don't want to sew those two together because you won't be able to fit it over your head. So go ahead and pin the front center. And the reason we cut a little bit more than we needed is because we really wanted to make sure we didn't miss it when we sew around, and then go ahead and pin the back and then the sides. And this is going to help keep that collar centered while you're sewing. Then I recommend removing the tray so you have more of a post bed sewing machine. Then switch it from straight to zigzag, and then your length, probably around a 3, and then your width, we're going to do around a 3 as well. And then starting at the front center, we're going to go ahead and sew all the way around the bottom of the neckline. And also keep in mind, you do not want to sew both of the sides of the collar together. Just keep them pretty close at the beginning, but make sure you do not sew them or else you won't be able to stretch it over your head. Next, we're going to go ahead and cut off the bottom, and there's a little Calvin Klein tag here. We're just going to want to keep that in, so we're going to go above that. And you can honestly make this as long or as short as you want it. It's more of an accent piece. So go ahead and take that and place it on the inside of your sweater, and what we're going to do is line up the side seams so that way it's nice and centered in the middle. And then once you have those side seams lined up, go ahead and pin it. And you'll want to go ahead and pin both sides and also front and back centers. For this video, we're only using one button up, but really to take your project to the next level, you can totally use a different button up for the collar, different for the bottom, and different for the cuffs. And then once you have it all pinned on, go ahead and start at the side seam and sew all the way around that bottom. And again, remember to use a zigzag stitch. And the reason we're using the zigzag stitch is because I think it blends in a little bit better with the sweater. And I also recommend using a thread that matches your sweater so that way it really blends in. Next, we're going to go ahead and cut the cuffs off, and we're going to do it just right above the placket. And then go ahead and take these cuffs and place them within the sweater sleeve. And the way that we're going to line this up is that we're going to keep the inside of the cuff placket towards the inside of the sweater sleeve. And we're going to want to keep it popping out just a little bit so that way it looks like they're coming out of the sweater, and also that way you can roll the cuffs over. And these cuffs have an accent fabric that matches the inside of the collar, so it will kind of look all coherent once it comes together. And then with the bottom tray out, go ahead and slide that sleeve into your post bed of your sewing machine and sew all the way around that cuff. And then go ahead and repeat this process for the other sleeve. And there you have it, your sweater mod is done. And keep in mind, you can get super creative with this. You can use different cuffs for each side, different neckline, and a totally different bottom to really bring out the style that you want to portray. This is just more of an inspirational video and an easy way to kind of understand the process of doing this. And like always, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, let us know what you think. And if you ever have any ideas, be sure to send them our way. We'll try to make it happen for you. But until then, we're going to keep the videos coming at you. So we'll see you next time.
Bye.